Top 5 biggest courtroom mistakes. Court cam, A&E. I've never really watched a video like this before.
And this is Eduardo Arama. Arama's supposed to be locked up inside said facility, but he's not.
Okay.
And that's a problem. The inmate did not
Agreed.
escape. Instead, a paperwork error triggered his early release into the public on what just happened to be his 52nd birthday. It was a nice present.
Pretty sweet birthday gift.
Arama still had just under a year to serve, linked to criminal mischief, probation violation, and shooting or throwing a deadly missile into a dwelling or vehicle. Yes, throwing a missile into a dwelling or vehicle.
What the fuck?
After realizing the mistake, authorities issued warnings to the public, including this wanted.
Dude, that's so weird that it's gonna all happen because of a paperwork error. You know what I mean? Like that seems so like the guard just like walks up to him and is like, okay, I know this isn't really supposed to happen, but the paperwork says so, so here you go. Like what the? How does that just? You know what I mean?
Based on Arama's criminal record, his accidental release was a serious situation.
Oh,
For nearly
God.
3 days, there was no sign of Arama until he resurfaced in an unlikely place.
So what did he manage to do
On
in
a
3
Zoom
days?
call with the Miami-Dade Circuit Court. That's Arama, who, despite being aware that he's currently a wanted man, looks pretty relaxed from an undisclosed location.
Where is he?
With a friendly little pooch on his lap.
He got a dog,
Due to the
dude.
COVID-19 pandemic,
Let him go.
the Broward County Court set up an easily accessible portal for remote hearings. Prior to his release, Arama had a hearing scheduled for today that he should be joining from inside the correctional facility. But instead, it looks like he's on the patio. Despite being wanted
That's
by
savage,
police,
dude.
he shows up for his hearing and is even a little early.
Yeah, the
At
fact
the
that he
time,
showed
the
up
only other
for it.
person on the video call is his attorney, Assistant Public Defender Fadja Salem. But after a brief conversation discussing the situation with her, he hangs up before the actual hearing begins.
Mr. Arama is a sentenced inmate. He is sentenced to state prison. He was released in error.
As you know, Mr. Arama was present. His video was working. Then he turned it off.
Ms. Salem, have you spoken with him about surrendering?
Judge, I have spoken to him. This is his
I love
only
the green
request.
screen.
He has
I don't know why
only
that's so
but
funny.
a few possessions left to his name and a dog. And he's merely asking for the court to give him a date to surrender so that he can find somebody to take those possessions.
Despite
How
the
much
fact
trouble
that
could you
Arama's
actually
supposed to
be
in
in?
jail, Salem continues
Like,
to make the case for a little
According
more
to the system, he legally got out,
time
right?
for her client.
Your Honor, he's not a flight risk. You know, answers the authorities' calls,
Yeah.
appears in court on Zoom, is not at risk for a flight.
And he
We're
throws
merely asking
deadly
for a
missiles into
date
vehicles or dwellings.
so that he can get his possessions to somebody to take care of.
But Judge Marlene Fernandez Caravezos seems to think Arama's dog-sitting vacation has lasted long enough.
He
3
signed
days.
that day, Ms. Salem. He was released on Monday. It's now Thursday. He surrendered today.
Eduardo Arama was taken
This
back
is such a
into
weird
custody
scenario.
the following day without incident. The Miami-Dade Department of Corrections issued a statement saying, quote, "Our review of the circumstances surrounding this inmate release is ongoing to include a full
That's so
internal
whack, dude. How do you accidentally let someone like that out?
Now to Fort Lauderdale,
That makes
Florida,
like no sense.
where Judge John Hurley is conducting remote bond hearings with inmates held at the Broward County Jail. 25-year-old Brian Noval believes he's only been charged with battery, but the record reads differently.
You are charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, domestic violence battery. You're going to be held no bond, sir, until further order of the court. Thank you.
Oh,
The realization
He's gotta be
that
pissed.
he's going back to jail starts to sink in for Noval.
You kidding me?
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding you. That's the truth. You're not going anywhere. That's the truth. All right, thanks. All right,
My
Suzanne Wall.
charge was battery.
Oh, wow, I know, man. But that's the way life is. What did he say? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, bring that guy back.
nah, no shot.
So what did you just say when you walked away?
I called you a because you're. That's
Did
not
you?
My charges I had yesterday.
Okay, hold on a second,
I had a
sir.
battery charge.
Oh no.
This court is inclined to hold you in contempt of court, and I want to know from you, give me a reason why I should not hold you in contempt of court.
I don't see a reason why you shouldn't be.
Okay.
There's not a reason you should be here.
Okay, sir, I find you in contempt of court for using that type of language with
Dude.
the court you just used. I'm going to ask you.
Why would he do that to
If
himself?
you have anything to say before I pass sentence?
I apologize. I was out of line. I'm just upset because this is not what I was charged with yesterday.
Oh my God,
This is
bro.
The battery.
I accept your apology, and I will sentence you to 60 days in the Broward County Jail. Thank you.
Ah, that ain't that bad.
After getting hit with 2 months in jail, it appears the
How much was it on top of that?
defendant may have finally learned his lesson.
2 months.
Or
Can I take the back in?
maybe not.
All right, sir, hold it. Come on back. Come on
No
back.
shot. No
Sir,
shot.
I'm inclined to hold you in contempt of court again. And I'm going to sentence you to another 60 days to run consecutive to the prior 60 days. So now you're up to 120 days. in
What
the
a
Broward County
dumbass,
Jail.
dude.
Do you have anything else you'd like to say?
Nah.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. You're done.
I didn't know you can do that.
Yes, he can. And yes, he did.
I want him to say it again, dude. This is like watching a game show or something. I don't know. I don't watch enough of this shit. I don't know if the judge is like being petty or
Thank you.
what. I
He was
don't know.
actually released 4 days later by the judge.
Oh, really?
Now we move on to the
See, that's interesting. So, like, what? People were just a little hot-headed, and he's like, ah, I've been called worse. You can go.
Lake County Common Pleas Court in Painesville, Ohio. 32-year-old Manson M. Bryant is in court to receive a sentence for
Manson.
aggravated burglary, aggravated robbery, kidnapping, abduction, and carrying a concealed weapon.
Holy shit.
All stemming from a violent home invasion he committed with 2 others.
All rise. This court of common pleas is now in session. The Honorable Eugene H. presiding.
Yikes, this dude's a
The judge
Psycho.
handing down the sentence is the Honorable Eugene Lucci, whom Bryant has appeared before 3 previous times for different crimes. In the past, Bryant has had words with the judge during sentencing.
Oh,
This
this would be
time
a good
around,
chat.
Manson expressed remorse to the judge, saying, quote, "I've made a lifetime of bad decisions. I am truly sorry. I respect you, and I respect your decision." That decision
Let
is
him
about
go.
to come down.
Court
What's-
determines that
Jesus
his
Christ.
conduct and his criminal history shows that consecutive terms are needed to protect the public from future crime.
At this point, it's safe to assume that Bryant will be spending some time in prison.
Yeah.
How much remains to be seen.
Court sentences you to prison on count 1, aggravated burglary, felony 1 for 8 years and 3 years on the firearm specification. Court sentences you on count 3, aggravated robbery for 8 years plus 3 years on the firearm specification for a total of 22 years.
Holy.
Credit for 231 days.
Courtroom, you racist ass.
Oh,
Courtroom, man. You racist as You racist as 22 years. Racist ass.
Remember
oh.
that you had a certain amount of remorse. I was mistaken. The court determined. The court determined.
Oh, no.
Calm down, bro.
You can see 2 people in the gallery trying to calm Bryant down.
Yeah, the cops aren't gonna like that.
Hey, take him out, please. Take him out for me. I love you, bro. I love you, man. I love you, Chad.
So that's 28 years with credit for 231 days.
Oh my God.
Bryant's outburst leads the judge to impose the maximum sentence allowed for his conviction. He'll now spend 28 years behind bars. Bryant
Dude,
plans to
imagine adding another 6 years onto your jail sentence.
The defendant
For
has
just
shown
screaming
me
some shit at
that
somebody.
He has no remorse whatsoever, and therefore the court determines that maximum imprisonment is
Oh
needed.
God. Dude. Like, listen, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it because like what he did was horrible, but I'm just saying like that's, can you imagine? Like he's already
With
just
the
so
greatest
pissed.
likelihood of recidivism.
Oh my God.
Next up, we head to a traffic court proceeding in Sacramento, California.
Okay, we're lowering
Court
the stakes a
clerk is
little bit.
waiting on the defendant, Scott Green, who's appearing today for
What's up, Maddie?
speeding and license tag violations. There he is.
Hello?
Oh, Mr. Green?
Yes.
Yes, defendant Green is also Dr. Scott Green. a plastic surgeon.
Hi.
He's doing some woman's boobs in the background.
Trial, it kind of looks like you're in an operating room right now.
I am, sir. I'm in the operating room. Yes, I'm available for trial. Go right ahead.
Okay, let me just briefly advise you that the proceedings right now, they are being live streamed on YouTube. That's because traffic trials are required by law to be open to the public. Since we're limiting physical access to the courtroom right now, that's how we're making them open to the public, okay?
Okay.
Streaming or not, Dr. Green is ready to go. The good doctor's sworn in and
Yeah, what
continues
happens?
to
The stream gets
multitask
banned for partial nudity.
as he waits for Court Commissioner Gary Link to get things started.
So, can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
Officer Monroe, Mr. Green. So, unless I'm mistaken, I'm seeing a defendant that's in the middle of an operating room, appearing to be actively engaged in providing services to a patient. Is that correct, Mr. Green?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Link seems a bit concerned about Dr. Green's setting
It's like,
and his ability to continue the hearing.
I kind of respect the like big dick energy here. He shows up for a hearing while he's like performing. Like, wait, did we know what this guy did? That's kind of badass. He's like, hold on, I'm in the middle of something. I gotta
While
go on
performing
my court call.
facelift on a patient.
I do not feel comfortable for the welfare of a patient if you're in the process of operating that I would put on a trial,
Yeah, imagine being the patient in that
notwithstanding
situation.
the fact that the officer's here today.
Sir, I have another,
Oh, it's a traffic violation, right? It's a traffic violation.
I have another surgeon right here who's doing the surgery with me, so I can stand here and allow them to do the surgery also.
Not at all. I don't think so. I don't think that's appropriate. I think I'm going to come up with a different date when you're not actively involved or participating in attending to the needs of a patient.
Looks like Dr. Green's plan isn't going over so well with the court.
Damn, I respect the
apologize,
like
Your
time
Honor, to the court.
efficiency.
Sometimes surgery doesn't always go
The court,
as efficiently as
it
we hope.
happens. We want to keep people healthy. We want to keep them alive. That's
Doing plastic
important.
surgery, man. Not performing a heart
Thank you.
transplant.
Okay, you're both free to go now.
Although the
seems
Zoom
like I've seen it
received
all.
plenty of attention from the media, the original court business was resolved when Dr. Green paid his fines just a few days later.
He was like, I don't got time for this shit.
Nicoletti versus Stevens, case number 0672172PH.
Next, we take you
Look at
inside
this
the
awesome
Oakland County
Android
Circuit
quality.
Court near Detroit, Michigan.
4
The
pixels.
judge is Martha Anderson.
May it please the court, Your Honor. Paul Nicoletti appearing on behalf of myself.
That's attorney Paul Nicoletti, who's in court because of an ongoing feud with a former client, Karen Stevens.
Good afternoon, Judge. Karen Stevens, in pro per for my motion for sanctions against Mr. Nicoletti for this vexatious and frivolous PPO.
Stevens claims Nicoletti has petitioned the court for a personal protection order against her over accusations of stalking. She's here to fight the order and try to bring sanctions against Nicoletti.
My motion for sanctions against Mr. Nicoletti for this vexatious and frivolous PPO.
I'm sorry, on his what?
I have a motion for.
So yeah, you're good with your charges of kidnapping and giving people the wrong shots. Dude, looks like Henry streams sometimes. Okay, bro.
I know that. And the purpose of the sanctions are based on what?
It was a frivolous and vexatious PPO based on nonsense.
Denoting an action that is brought without sufficient grounds for winning.
I am not stalking Mr. Nicoletti.
I haven't signed a PPO.
Just to clarify, the personal protection order
I don't know what's
that
going on.
Stevens is referring to
Oh, personal
has
protection
not
order.
even been issued.
His petition for a PPO. Let me.
Okay, were you served?
No, I wasn't. But may
No, you may not. How can you ask to sanction someone when you haven't even been served?
That's the point. He
Stevens, do not interrupt me when I'm
Ooh,
speaking, ma'am.
ooh.
I have a constitutional right to be heard.
On what basis? There is no case before me, ma'am, other than the fact that you filed this frivolous motion, taking up this court's time for no good reason other than your own personal vendetta against this man. I did not issue a PPO. And here you are taking up my time so that you want me to chastise him and make him pay money? No, ma'am. You believe...
Me going to YouTube when like someone hurts my feelings in chat. This guy, he said I was bad at Susan's like, what the? I don't give a shit.
Died, and in addition to that, I am sanctioning you with costs of $500.
So not only does Stevens fail to get sanctions against Nicoletti, but she's hit with a $500 fine of her own.
That's
Unhappy
awesome.
with the decision, she has some choice words for the
Nice. Here we go.
judge.
I knew it was fixed.
I beg your pardon?
I knew it was fixed.
Miss Stevens, I highly suggest that you just exit my courtroom and go pay the sanctions before I find you in contempt.
Oh, do it. No. Keep talking. You know you
But
want
the
to.
story doesn't end there.
Yeah.
Due to a clerical mistake, Stevens is back before Judge Anderson 4 months later.
Good morning.
She's had some time to
Karen
think.
Stevens? Miss Stevens, the last time you appeared in court, the court ordered that you pay $500 in costs. The clerk's office made a mistake with respect to your credit card, and only $5 was assessed as opposed to the $500. When the clerk's office attempted to correct the mistake they made, you basically objected
I can't turn it up any louder,
to
Anthony.
your
Sorry.
credit card company, and that brings you here today. Do you have the $495 that this is the balance owed?
I have my credit card, but I did file an objection and an answer to this order to show cause that wasn't properly served. Didn't have an affidavit of merit.
Looks like Stevens still wants to discuss the protection order.
Oh,
but
man.
Judge Anderson isn't having it.
Miss Stevens, do you have $495 with which to pay today?
I just said I have my credit card. I do not have cash.
Very well then, Miss Stevens. You may go down to the clerk's office, pay $495 forthwith to take care of the $500 that this court assessed you the last time you were here.
But Karen Stevens isn't one to go quietly.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
entitled
not.
to know what statutes or court rules you rely on to sanction me in the first place. That's part of due process.
Oh, she was like, she's probably at home, like reading some books and shit, like trying to outsmart the judge. This will be good.
Miss Stevens, do you wish to comply with my request, or do you wish me to find you?
Is it a court order? I need a court order.
Miss Stevens, my clerk will call down to the clerk's office and let them know you are coming.
There will be no court orders, what you're saying?
Miss Stevens, please do as I've directed you to do. Thank you.
Stevens ultimately lost her feud with the judge and Nicoletti. She was not only ordered to pay the fine she owed the court, but Nicoletti's attorney's fees as well.
Nice.
It was fixed.
Thanks for being a fan of Court Cam. Subscribe
The edit
to
comes
A&E
back
to
around.
never miss.
Damn, good content though. I'm gonna subscribe. The narrator immediately emphasizes missile, but a missile is anything including a rock. Wait, really? By definition? Like a rock or a coin? Oh, that's no fun, dude. I mean, sorry, Chad. We just kind of have to treat this like a game. You know what I mean? Like we can't take it too seriously. I mean, there's a real cases, but you get what I'm saying. I didn't know that though. A missile could be anything, including a rock. So like if I took a pen and I threw it at somebody, that'd be considered me throwing a missile at them. Damn. Okay, so that guy didn't do shit then. This first criminal mischief, probation violation, throwing deadly, or they said deadly, not throwing missile. Deadly missile. So like what, they like lit a pen on fire or something? I don't know, man. That's funny though. Love how the judge remanded him to 120 days in county, only to rescind the sentence 4 days later. It almost sounds like he was teaching him a lesson. Yeah, or something, dude. Just wanted to like, you know what, dude? That's deep. It's like making you think you're gonna serve that time, only to rescind it 4 days later. You know what I mean? So like mentally, you've served it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like backwards psychology shit. I kind of respect that. I don't know what I'm talking about. Judges should not be allowed to increase sentences on their emotion and ego after the fact. Yeah, well, contempt of court definitely is a real thing. And throwing around the C word in court towards a judge, I feel like it's just kind of disrespectful. And yeah, proving no remorse, I don't know. It's humans judging humans, man. Everyone's going to have to bring their emotions into it. I'm sure judges love their egos. They got to get to that position in the first place, right? Great video, though. Great video.